the loudest, fastest, and biggest football league in the world. And the stadiums? Packed to the very last seat. Whether under blazing sun, pouring rain, or a snowstorm. Modern giants, timeless classics, even grounds with roots in the 19th century. The Premier League has all of it, and somehow still offers even more. In this video, the first in our series focused on football leagues around the world, we rank every Premier League stadium from the least impressive to the very best. We take into account capacity, modernity, atmosphere, and the overall experience of watching football. Here we go. StadiumDB.com presents Premier League Stadium Ranking, Season 2026-2027. 20th place, Vitality Stadium, capacity 12,100, AFC Bournemouth. Being the smallest ground in the league, Dean Court creates an unusually intimate connection between the fans and the pitch, giving the stadium its distinctive atmosphere. Perhaps it is exactly this sense of closeness and compactness that helps Bournemouth punch above their weight, with the club becoming a regular top-half Premier League side in recent years. Now that the club has regained ownership of the stadium, supporters are once again hoping the long-awaited expansion project will finally move forward and replace the temporary stands. 19th place, Selhurst Park, capacity 25,194, Crystal Palace FC. Surrounded by the residential streets of Croydon since 1924, this stadium remains one of the purest examples of traditional English football architecture. It is also among the few active top-flight grounds designed by the legendary Archibald Leitch. From the outside, the austere brick facade gives little away, hiding asymmetrical stands built tightly around the pitch in a compact, trackless layout typical of Old English stadiums. The venue is now waiting for the long-discussed reconstruction of the aging main stand, a project expected to increase the capacity to around 34,000 spectators. 18th place, City Ground, capacity 30,455, Nottingham Forest. Set on the banks of the River Trent since 1898, this is one of the most recognizable stadiums in English football. Its architecture stands out through traditional asymmetrical forms, most notably the iconic arched roof above the two-tier Trent end, which defines the venue's unmistakable riverside silhouette. While the club once explored the possibility of moving elsewhere, it eventually committed to remaining at its historic home, with current plans centered around building a brand new three-tier Peter Taylor stand. 17th place, Portman Road, capacity 30,311, Ipswich Town. Dating back to 1884, Portman Road remains a fine example of traditional English stadium architecture, with 4 compact stands tightly enclosing the pitch, highlighted by the iconic Sir Bobby Robson stand and Sir Alf Ramsey stand. Following the club's promotion to the Premier League in 2024, Ipswich Town began a major modernization program that included the installation of a hybrid pitch, new LED screens, and extensive upgrades to the floodlighting, dressing rooms, and media infrastructure, allowing the historic ground to meet contemporary top-flight requirements. 16th place, Elland Road, capacity 37,645, Leeds United. Originally founded in 1898 beside a local pub, the stadium gradually transformed into one of English football's most intimidating fortresses. Its compact layout is dominated by the enormous covered east stand, named after Jack Charlton, which was once considered the largest cantilever stand of its type anywhere in the world. Following years of stalled discussions and unrealized proposals, ambitious redevelopment plans for the north and west stands were finally revealed in 2025, with the goal of expanding the historic venue to a capacity of over 50,000 spectators. 15th place, Coventry Building Society Arena, capacity 32,609, Coventry City. Coventry City are back in the Premier League after 25 years away. When the club was relegated in 2001, it ended a remarkable run of 34 consecutive top-flight seasons, and now supporters hope Frank Lampard can guide the team to at least one successful survival campaign. The stadium itself features a simple yet functional design, with compact single-tier stands wrapped closely around the pitch, making it well-suited for both football and large-scale events. After years of complex ownership disputes and uncertainty, the arena has finally returned permanently to Coventry City's control. 14th place, Craven Cottage, capacity 27,782. Fulham FC. Set on the banks of the River Thames, this is one of the most traditional and recognizable stadiums in English football. Its defining feature is the historic Johnny Haynes stand from 1905, designed by the legendary Archibald Leach, together with the adjacent Cottage pavilion, both giving the ground an almost museum-like atmosphere. In complete contrast stands the modern Riverside stand, a tall, glass-fronted structure filled with premium hospitality areas and terraces overlooking the river, bringing a noticeably different architectural style to the stadium. It was exactly this unusual clash between tradition and modernity that we highlighted in our video about the weirdest stadiums in Europe. 13th place, Amex Stadium, capacity 31,876, Brighton and Hove Albion. Built on the outskirts of Brighton, the stadium was conceived with a modern, lightweight identity that would blend naturally into the surrounding South Downs landscape. Its curved lines, glass facades, and sweeping roof structure create an elegant and contemporary look, highlighted by the impressive three-tier west stand. Since opening in 2011, the venue has been gradually expanded, with corner sections filled in and capacity increased to match the rapidly growing popularity of the Seagulls. 12th place, MKM Stadium, capacity 25,586, Hull City. Built at the start of the 21st century as a modern successor to the aging Boothferry Park, the stadium was designed with a simple and functional layout centered around a single main two-tier stand. Its most distinctive characteristic is the color palette, black and white and orange seating referencing the city's clubs, combined with blue and gold entrance towers that give the venue a strong urban identity. Hull City are now returning to the Premier League after a 9-year absence, despite finishing only 6th in the previous championship season. 11th place, Gtech Community Stadium, capacity 17,250, Brentford FC. Opened in 2020 as Brentford's new home after decades at Griffin Park, this is one of the newest stadiums in the Premier League. Its compact urban design was carefully fitted into the dense surroundings of West London, while the unusually steep stands make the ground appear far larger than its actual capacity suggests. Externally, the stadium has a clean and modern appearance, but inside it delivers a remarkably tight and intense atmosphere close to the pitch. Before we continue, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That way you will not miss the next stadium rankings and more football content from across Europe. Thanks! 10th place, Villa Park, capacity 37,000, Aston Villa. This is one of the most iconic traditional stadiums in England, defined by 4 clearly different stands and a classic overall layout. The most famous of them is the Holty End, the emotional center of Aston Villa's support, while the elegant Trinity Road stand stands out with its brick facade and modern hospitality facilities. Villa Park still carries the historic atmosphere of a great old English ground. Its importance is growing once again, with the club having launched the redevelopment of the North Stand as part of plans to increase the stadium's capacity to around 50,000 spectators. However, because of these changes, the stadium will accommodate 5,000 fewer fans this season than it did previously. 9th place, Stamford Bridge, capacity 40,343, Chelsea FC. This is a stadium with a distinctly urban identity, tightly embedded within the dense streets of West London. Its most recognizable feature is the East Stand, while the ground as a whole combines historic character with more modern redevelopments, creating a unique mix of old and new. For years, the club has considered either a major reconstruction of the stadium or even a complete relocation, giving the venue both a rich history and an uncertain future. In recent seasons, however, the club's main focus has been on rebuilding the team itself, repeatedly changing players, managers, and overall sporting strategies. 8th place, Old Trafford, capacity 74,244, Manchester United. This is one of the most recognizable stadiums in world football, enormous in scale, with 4 clearly defined stands and a history few venues can match. After all the stadium embarrassments, from rats to leaking waterfalls, United still finished last season on the podium, meaning not only the Premier League, but also the Champions League is returning to the Theatre of Dreams. Old Trafford feels both monumental and deeply traditional at the same time. Yet it is also increasingly clear that the stadium is struggling under the weight of its age, which is why Manchester United's future is becoming more and more connected to plans for a brand new venue. That proposed stadium would rise nearby, although the project is already surrounded by major challenges and has divided both local residents and supporters. 7th place, Stadium of Light, capacity 48,095, Sunderland AFC. This stadium stands out through its strong symbolic connection to the city's industrial past. Even its name references Sunderland's mining heritage and the traditional miner's lamp. Built on the site of a former colliery, the ground carries a deeper meaning that goes beyond football itself. Externally, the stadium has a modern, yet rather austere appearance, but inside it transforms into a well-enclosed arena with steep stands and notably strong acoustics. After returning to the Premier League, Sunderland have exceeded expectations and have not had to fight to avoid relegation. 6th place, St. James's Park, capacity 52,264, Newcastle United. This is one of the most distinctive stadiums in England, towering over central Newcastle and dominating the city skyline. Its asymmetrical design, with enormous stands on one side and much lower structures on the other, creates an instantly recognizable and dramatic silhouette. Inside, the scale of the venue is equally impressive, while the club itself remains one of the best supported in the country. In recent years, there has been growing discussion about the possibility of building a new stadium, but fortunately, Premier League football will still be played at this exceptional ground for at least a few more years. 5th place, Anfield, capacity 61,276, Liverpool FC. Liverpool's stadium is one of the most famous football venues in the world, and over recent years it has gone through major redevelopment works that increased its capacity to around 61,000 spectators. Its defining feature remains the Kop, widely regarded as one of the loudest and most iconic stands in English football. What makes the ground especially remarkable is that, despite extensive modernization, it has preserved its compact traditional layout and the close connection between the stands and the pitch. Even after a hugely expensive and long-term expansion project, the stadium has not lost any of its historic magic, something that deserves enormous credit. 4th place, Etihad Stadium, capacity 60,000, Manchester City. Manchester City's stadium opened in 2003 and was not originally designed purely for football, having first served as the main venue for the Commonwealth Games. After being adapted for football use, it quickly became one of the most modern stadiums in the country, and the latest stand redevelopment has now been completed. Thanks to this expansion, the venue has joined the exclusive group of stadiums with a capacity of at least 60,000 spectators. At the same time, the surrounding entertainment district and connected commercial buildings are turning the area into far more than just a football ground, allowing City to generate significant revenue well beyond match days alone. 3rd place, Emirates Stadium, capacity 60,704, Arsenal FC. Arsenal's stadium opened in 2006 as the successor to the legendary Highbury and was designed from the outset as a premium-class football venue. With a capacity of more than 60,000 spectators, excellent sightlines, and a highly recognizable appearance, it quickly became one of the defining stadiums of modern English football. The ground also stands out through its contemporary architecture and strong focus on spectator comfort. For Arsenal, the move represented one of the most transformative infrastructure projects in the club's history, reshaping not only the matchday experience, but also the club's long-term financial potential. As unusual as it may sound to some, it is also worth noting that the Emirates will host the reigning Premier League champions this season. 2nd place, Hill Dickinson Stadium, capacity 52,769, Everton FC. Hill Dickinson Stadium became Everton's new home as the club entered the post-Goodison Park era ahead of the 2025-26 season. The venue was constructed at Bramley Moor Dock, directly on the site of a former dock along the River Mersey. Its architecture is built around a deliberate contrast. The lower brick section references Liverpool's historic dockland warehouses, while the metallic upper structure gives the stadium a distinctly modern identity. Inside, the steep stands are positioned tightly around the pitch, creating a more intense atmosphere and strengthening the connection between supporters and the game itself. 1st place, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, capacity 62,850, Tottenham Hotspur. It could have become the greatest stadium in Championship history. Instead, much to the delight of Spurs supporters, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium will remain the undisputed #1 venue in the Premier League. Opened in 2019, the stadium was quickly recognized as one of the most advanced and impressive football arenas anywhere in the world. From the beginning, it was designed as a fully multi-purpose venue, capable of hosting NFL games, concerts, and large-scale commercial events alongside football. In terms of technology, premium facilities, and overall organizational capabilities, it is currently one of the most complete stadiums in Europe. Which stadium do you think is better, Tottenham's or Everton's? Make sure to share your opinion in the comments. Also visit our social media channels, and we will see you in the next episode. See you soon.